Today we're comparing and ordering fractions, decimals, and percents. And when you are comparing and ordering fractions, decimals, and percents, there's really only one rule. You want to make sure that all of the things that you're comparing are either all written as fractions, all written as decimals, or all written as percents. In order to compare them, you want them all to be in the same format. So you can pick any format as long as they are the same. So here I'm being asked, which is greater, 3/20ths or 16%? So I want to write them both as percentages so I can compare them. Since 16% is already a percentage, I'm just going to leave that one alone. 3/20ths I'm going to change to a percentage by first changing it to a fraction out of 100. So in this case, I have to multiply by 5 to get this guy out of 100. So on the top, 3 times 5 would be 15. So 15 out of 100, or 15%, is equivalent to 3/20ths. So 15% or 16%, 16% is greater. Here they want to know which is greater, 79% or 0.08. So in this case, I'm going to change them both to decimals. So 79% can easily be changed to a decimal by moving the decimal 2 spots to the left. So it becomes 0.79. So 0.79 or 0.08, the 0.79 is greater, or the 79% is greater. You, your sister, and a friend each take the same number of shots at a soccer goal. And they want to know who made the fewest shots. You made 72% of your shots. Your sister made 19/25ths of her shots, and your friend made 0.67 of his shots. So we want to get them all into one common format. So I'm going to change them all to decimals. So my percentage was 72%. So in order to change that into a decimal, I'm going to take the current decimal location and move it to the left 2 spots and get rid of my percentage sign, and it becomes 0.72. Now my sister, she made 19/25ths of her shots. So in order to change that to a decimal, I'm going to have to write it as a fraction out of 100. So I'm multiplying by 4 here. So on the top, I'm going to do 19 times 4. I get 76 out of 100. That's 0.76, 76 hundredths. And we've got one more person to consider, the friend. The friend's data was already given to us in decimal form, so I'm just going to keep it the same. So of these three, the smallest decimal is my friend's. So my friend has made the fewest shots. So this table shows the portion of the U.S. population living in 5 different states. The 5 states are California, Michigan, New York, Ohio, and Washington. And they want us to list the 5 states in order of the population living there from least to greatest. So I want to get all of the population data in one format. Right now I've got decimals, percents, and fractions. So I'm going to change them all to percentages, which means New York's data is already written as a percentage, so I don't have to do anything to New York's data. California's data was given to us as a decimal. So to change a decimal into a percentage, I'm just going to move the decimal 2 to the right and add my percentage sign. So 12% of the U.S. population is living in California. Michigan's decimal was 0.03. I'm going to do the same thing, move it 2 to the right, add my percentage sign. So 3% of the population is living in Michigan. Now Ohio's data was written as a fraction, so I'm going to have to change it to be a fraction out of 100, which means I'm multiplying by 4, so I do the same to the top. And 4 out of 100, or 4% of the population, is living in Ohio. And last but not least, Washington has 1/50th of the population living there. So I'll double both of these to get a fraction out of 100. So 2 out of 100, or 2% of the population, is living in Washington. So the state with the smallest percent of the population of these 5 is Washington. at 2%, followed by Michigan at 3%. And right in the middle is Ohio at 4%. Then we have New York at 6%. And of these 5 states, the one with the greatest population living in it is California at 12%. So last, we're being asked here to graph the percent for each state on a number line. So I know I need to get up to 12%, so I'm going to count by 2s here on these tick marks so that I know I'll have enough space to fit from Washington to California on my number line. So at 2%, I had Washington. Then right between 2 and 4%, at 3% would go Michigan. At 4%, I've got Ohio. At 6%, New York. And at 12%, California.